Welcome to Gracegarden Florist. Today is May 1st, and I'm here with you in the garden with my coffee. And I thought, even though the weather's terrible, it's gonna rain and be nasty today again here in northeastern Pennsylvania. And it's actually 53 degrees out right now. We had frost 2 days ago. Actually more than frost, because there was ice in my bird bath, so that's more than frost. But I thought we'd take a quick trip around the garden and catalog what's going on here on May 1st. And right now I'm standing on the sidewalk in front of my house. There's my house. And from here, the most prominent thing is this lovely dogwood right here on the corner. Next to it is this Miss Kim miniature lilac, which was a Mother's Day present from my son. And it's just about getting ready to pop open and show those beautiful and fragrant flowers. As we walk around the corner here, underneath my dogwood are daylilies, and this is the full-size lilac. This lilac and one other came from my mother's garden, so there's one little bit of flower left up there. And the next thing of note is this tree, which we talked about in another video on a sunnier day. And I erroneously, mistakenly, said that these little circles were immature berries, but they're not the berries yet. These are actually the flower buds, and you can see they're just about ready to open little tiny fragrant white flowers that will turn into the berries that the birds love to have. And down a little farther, there's my other lilac that came from my mother's garden as well. And then down a little further, we come to my fernery. I'm walking on the sidewalk here, and we need to mow the lawn if it stops raining here. For a little while I can mow, but this is my fernery. There's some bishop's gout along the edge of the sidewalk, and my fern. There's another Miss Kim lilac, another Mother's Day present from my son. We have a couple rhodies right here. And this is a rambling rose. There's that rambling rose. Now I'm standing in the garden, looking out at it. And next to the rambling rose is an oak tree that planted itself here about 5 years ago. So that's about 5 years growth right there on that oak tree. And normally that rambler climbs up the oak tree, but storms this winter have pushed it off. So that's another chore that I have, to push that rose back up into the tree. And here's my pond, still in need of my attention. I haven't gotten to it yet. But the water is clear, even though there's leaves in the bottom of the pond. And there are fish in there, and they don't care. So that's one of those jobs that got pushed to the back. Around the bottom here, around the pond, in the shady area here, are my lilies of the valley. These were a pass-along plant from Grandma Minerva's garden. And There's a couple heuchera around here. And then my Solomon seal, which is also from Grandma Minerva's garden. And this is an awesome plant. Great cut flower. And this is my fernery from the inside, from where we can sit here next to the pond and feel very secluded, even though it's right on the sidewalk. Here we have some bleeding hearts from my mother's garden, and some of these hostas. These are hosta hyacintha, which makes a large tubular white hosta flower that's so intoxicatingly fragrant. And in the middle of the summer I'll show you that, although unfortunately I can't have you smell it. And on the ground here is this creeping Lysimachia. The common name is creeping Jenny, and it will cover this whole area. And this is another kind of Lysimachia, this red one, and I'm sorry I don't know the name of it, but it gets very light pink flowers and is quite a tall plant when it flowers. But I love these two plants together. Now I'd like to take you over here to my arbor path and show you the first alliums just starting to open. And there's tons of them, so this is going to be quite a show here when they happen. And the ground is covered with these naturalized species violets, which I love. And unfortunately, I've been trying really hard to capture on video these species tulips, but they close when it's not sunny, and they close at night. And it has not been sunny here in Pennsylvania for me to capture those on video. But I just thought that I would give you a little peek at the very first opening of our alliums. And a little peek down the garden path.